Broads Media.
All I'm seeing all over the place is the Eagles need to go get Bijan Robinson at 10. This offense will be unstoppable. And it kind of blows my mind that he gets spoken about like he's a mythical creature. Let me just lay out the groundwork before we dive into it. I'm not against Bijan Robinson. I don't want him at 10. I think he is a special talent. I do feel him with Jalen Hurts and this offensive line would be outrageous. So I see why it's exciting. It's flashy. It's a sexy pick. I'm totally aware. I don't think that that's how I would prioritize a 10th overall pick. If you trade back, get him at around 15, 16, and then you also have another asset, so it's Bijan plus, well, then I'm more intrigued. I'm not ruling out adding him to this roster and then dreaming of what Brian Johnson can do with this offense. Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, so many damn weapons. What is the opponent going to do when they're sitting with their defensive coordinator going over the tape, trying to come up with the game plan to stop this beast, right? So I get it, but I don't want to prioritize my number 10 overall pick. Keep in mind, the Eagles are a good team. You are not going to be drafting that high very often. So I want to maximize where we are. My number one option, if I'm Howie Roseman, it's simple. I'm getting Jalen Carter. Hoping that he falls to the 7-8 range. I'm going up. I'm going to use some of my other picks. I'm going to find a way to land Jalen Carter. Just so you can visualize what I want to do with that pick. See, with Bijan Robinson, and I get it, 5 years is a long time. I know that you don't re-sign running backs. You pick Miles Sanders, and then when Miles Sanders' time is up, you move on from him. Why I bring that up is I'm looking to replace Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, players who have been here for a long period of time. They're on the back nine. They don't have much time left. We're at the point where Fletcher Cox does better when you bring in Linval Joseph and Sue. You want to take away snaps from Fletch to keep him with some spunk. You need to give him some time off so he can have more worth, right? That's where Fletcher Cox is. I bring that up because you look at some of the recent players. Brandon Graham, 2010 to now. We're in 2023. It's a lot of damn seasons. Fletcher Cox, 2012 to now. Zach Ertz was 2013 to 2021. Lane Johnson, 2013 to now. I want to try and land a player who we can look at 13 years from now, 12 years from now, and say cornerstone piece. I think you have that with Jordan Davis. Let's beef up that defensive line. The Philadelphia Eagles have had a plan for a long period of time. They have a method about building in the trenches that has clearly kept them with sustained success for a long period of time now. I don't believe that the running back position is the one that should destroy the trend. Now, I'm not saying everything they do is perfect. Personally, I wouldn't wait 20 plus years to go draft a corner in the first round. I would try and find a stud corner, but instead, they make their trades to go get Darius Slay. They get James Bradbury because the New York Giants felt obligated to release him, and then bang, you prowl and you pounce on a golden A-plus chance, and then now you have some good, solid veterans in your secondary, which is fine. I'm just trying to inform you that I'm not in love with everything they do in the draft as a franchise because I would land a young talent in that secondary. But when it comes to running back, I want to look at the bigger picture more than just, wow, this would be amazing with this offense. I'm not really sold on the D-line right now. Hassan Reddick, awesome. I like Josh Sweat a lot. He has clearly improved each season, and he's becoming a really good player for you. And I don't know what BG's going to do after that phenomenal double-digit sack season. I mean, it would be lovely if he could do it again. But I'm more realistic than demanding 11 sacks, demanding double digits. Now, I'm not ruling it out because Brandon Graham is a fantastic player. I think he's going to have a really good, strong year to follow up what he just did. But we know Father Time is real, and there's no getting around it. There's no getting past it. Losing Javon Hargrave is big. That's why I thought bringing back the body of Fletcher Cox needed to be recognized, even though we're aware of where he's at physically in his career. I'm looking at Jalen Carter. I'm looking at Van Ness. Hell, I'd go offensive line over drafting the running back. It feels like it's more of a dream of what this special offense can be more than keeping the football logic in mind. I even was getting people reaching out saying, well, why don't we look at Ohio State? Why don't we look at a receiver so that we can remove this Quez Watkins crap, even though they made a signing from Atlanta for a nice, solid competition over there with your third wide receiver. But then I'm going, okay, we're going back to this of, in the first round, how many snaps is going to be for him? A third wide receiver, a slot wide receiver, somebody going to play in the slot. That's not the best way to maximize a number 10 overall pick. Well, you have a luxury because of how creative Howie was. I think a bad organization would waste a pick because of, quote, luxury. You want to step on the league's throat? You don't do luxury stuff. You keep building from within and creating a monster. You don't step out of the ordinary because Howie Roseman makes a trade and snags someone else's first-round pick and does a little bit of this, does a little bit of that. The way you keep the long-term success growing and you make sure it keeps turning over where you don't skip a beat is you add to the plan that has worked for you for a long period of time. This is where you get yourself into trouble, is when you step out of bounds. Bijan, in my eyes, would be stepping out of bounds.